BookFlix is an initiative that I saw working in some UK schools. It plays on the concept of Netflix, where you have quite a few recommendations about things you might like to watch. And I think all the children know what Netflix is. I think over the last 6 months, all of us have watched a lot of Netflix. So I thought it might be fun for BSB to come up with a BookFlix scheme. And a BookFlix scheme is to promote reading amongst the students, to get them actively engaged in trying to find different types of books to read, because children tend to go back to the same authors and the same titles all over and over again. So is a good platform for being able to give children some good recommendations about what they could be reading. Okay, so BookFlix will be on screens around school. It will also be on the BSB BookFlix Teams. So all students across secondary will be able to access the platform. The BookFlix PowerPoint itself just takes us through book recommendations that I'm continually adding to as the term goes along. On BookFlix, the teams, you will also be able to see lots of information about competitions that we're going to be doing, because we're having a point system. So the more books you read, the more points you get. The more reviews you write, again, more points. And this will end actually with some prizes at the end of the year. In terms of what else you can find on the BookFlix teams, I am hoping to put up some PDF files that students can download if they're finding it hard to get hold of books in another way. Reading isn't just about the words on the page and expanding vocabulary. It is also, through reading, we're learning how to write. So reading can be a good way to teach students the grammatical and the grammar and punctuation rules in English as well. So not only does reading kind of give flight to the imagination, but it also helps with those kind of technical skills for the accuracy of written expression. Also, the more books you read, the more great ideas that you get for your own writing. So really, it's to help build the imagination as well. Okay, so as BSB has adopted the learning habits of Guy Claxton, we're trying to roll this out in classrooms across the school. BookFlix will kind of be linked to the learning habits as well, because one of the learning habits is imagination. And what better way to enhance the imagination than getting students involved with different fictional worlds, whether that be looking at Harry Potter, whether it be looking at plays, whether it be looking at poetry. Reading is one way to get the imagination going and transport the students to different worlds. Also, it could actually help with the listening part of the learner habits, because audiobooks are also really important, particularly if students aren't accessing books in the conventional way. Listening to them can also help them build vocabulary and improve their spoken English as well as their listening skills. I think so, and I think that the habits actually start at home from a very young age. The younger you can get your children listening to books, reading them, whether that's on a plane, on a train, in the home environment, I think the better, because it is a habit, and it's so easy when there's so many other gadgets around, so many other kind of stimuli, whether that's Netflix, video games. It's really important to prioritize reading, because as we've said before, it can really help with acquiring key vocabulary, help with language skills, help with processing, help with imagination. And also, reading's a lovely pastime that can bring the family together. Maybe you could start a book club within your families where once a week you discuss which books you're reading together as a family. Yes, well, there's going to be monthly competitions, 3 monthly competitions, BSB BookFlix Create, where there might be, for example, design a book cover for your favourite book. There'll be a BSB BookFlix writing competition where actually the books are used to inspire creative writing, and there'll also be BSB BookFlix Review, where students are encouraged to write in with their book recommendations. The idea is that we will be posting their reviews on the BSB BookFlix team. I think reading is one effective method of escapism, really. I think we've all become quite glued to our television programs, video games, and I think reading is one thing you can do without a screen. It's one thing that you can do to sit down, relax, and just disconnect from all the media stimuli that is going on around you. It's also great for students to be able to experience different cultures, different people, different worlds within their own home. Because obviously that is something that we're kind of missing at the moment, as we're not allowed to integrate in the ways that we previously have. So actually books and reading can open up worlds for students, even if they're just reading in their bedrooms.